push that button. So now that's recording into the computer. And I guess that's it.
Wow.
We're set. We're all set to record.
We're all set to record.
We're all set to record. Hello. Welcome to the podcast. We're here.
Finally. God, sit down, shut up, and listen to the podcast.
Sit down, shut up, crank this up. If you're in a car, pull over and park. Listen to the whole episode.
Put one of those horse blinders on you. Well, no, more than horse blinders, because you shouldn't be seeing anything. Close your eyes, be in a sensory deprivation tank, and only hear our voices.
We're here coming at you live from my office in my house.
Yep.
On a nice, crisp fall October day. It's October. This is our first episode, I think. No, it's not. Second episode in October.
Wow.
First one recording in October, though.
That's pretty crazy. It's actually kind of cold out today.
It is. It was. I woke up this morning and like my nose felt dry from the cold.
Oh,
I was like, we're getting into this awful, terrible time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it.
You did not like it?
No.
Oh, I do like it.
I don't like waking up cold.
Oh, I mean, I feel like I have enough blankets on my bed where I'm very cozy, but then getting out of bed is a lot harder.
Yep, that is very true.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what this time of year is, huh?
Yeah. Took me a while to get out of bed today. And I wasn't even like, sometimes I'll get on my phone, which I try not to do because I know that I shouldn't be on my phone in bed. Because it'll just keep me up. It'll trick my body into thinking that bed is a time to look at things on the internet, but it's not. It's a sleepy time. So I was just laying there like staring and kind of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's not very interesting. So
I mean, I also woke up very late today.
How late?
1 hour before you got here.
Wow. Oh, that's not that bad. What time did I get here?
You got here like, I don't know, noonish. We're recording earlier also.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about the impact on quality this has, because we normally record later in the day.
Yeah.
After, like 5, 6 p.m.
After we've both done a bunch of work.
Yeah. And sometimes when I'm editing, I realize, wow, I can definitely tell our energy has dropped from minute 1 to minute 90. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what recording earlier has on the podcast. I also just had some coffee.
Oh, I had some coffee too. I wish I had thought about that and brought some with me.
I got back into coffee just because I was working on that video.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I stopped drinking for a while.
How do you do your coffee now? What kind of coffee are you drinking?
Well, I started using this coffee subscription thing, mainly because I'm realizing that a lot of coffee around town, like a lot of the local coffee, might as well just say black coffee. I think a lot of theirs is just really sour.
Yeah,
and I don't think I've had a single roast of theirs that I think like this is really what I like. So I decided, I'm going to look at one of these like coffee subscriptions that people get sponsored by and whatever. Because they just have you like pick like, I like this kind of taste and I like this kind of taste, and maybe I'll find something that I like.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. I got sent a bag, which I guess was also cheaper because it's through their subscription or whatever. So I got that, and I don't remember the name of it, but the bag was nice. The coffee's good. And I just do a pour over.
Oh, okay.
Because it's nice. The 1 cup. I need just 1 cup, and that's it.
Yeah.
But I've gotten into it where like I measure things out now
instead of just randomly dumping.
Yep. Because that's what I used to do. And I was like, this seems about the right amount of beans to put in here. And then that was even before I got like a grinder too.
Mm-hmm.
I just like take some grounds. It's like, this looks like a right amount, and then pour some water in. And then it always ends up like not being enough water, or I'll put in too much water and then the cup will overflow and then get all over the floor.
Oh, that sucks. There's nothing worse than fucking up your cup of coffee in the morning.
Yeah. So I was like, whatever. So I'm gonna do it. I might as well do it, quote unquote, right. So I got a kitchen scale and I measure out my beans, 20 grams of beans.
20 grams of beans.
And then 320 grams of water.
Wow. Measuring out the water too.
Yeah. It's a 16-to-1 ratio.
Wow, you're doing it the way that my old boss at Sunrise Coffee, he would have been proud.
Wow.
We had to measure every cup every time for every coffee we made.
Honestly, sometimes it's a pain in the ass when it's like, I just want to drink this coffee now.
Mm-hmm.
But then I know that it's going to taste fine.
Oh, yeah.
And then I put a bunch of creamer in it.
Oh, really?
I'm a
You're
creamer.
Cream boy.
I'm a cream boy.
As they might say on Doughboys.
I'm a creamsman.
You're a creamsman.
I am a creamsman.
What kind of, you put like half and half in there?
Nope. I use almond milk creamer thing.
Okay.
Non-dairy.
Yeah. I sometimes I'll put oat milk in my coffee, but I usually have it just go black because that's how I like it. And I've liked that for a long time.
I would drink only black coffee for a while, and now I've just kind of realized, you know what? I like this more. Yeah. I like it more with cream. Don't really need sugar in there. I tried a little bit with sugar. Like, do I like cream and sugar? And then, nah, I'm just fine with cream. And probably more cream than, it's probably the equivalent of like 3 to 4 creams in there.
That's a lot of cream.
It is a lot, but
that's how my mom likes it.
Tastes good. I like it. Back into coffee.
Back in the coffee.
So I don't know where to really go from here.
Yeah.
I guess I do have some stuff I wanted to, just some stuff to talk about before we start talking about this week's topic, which is music. It's music that we listen to. And as I was, to go into this a little bit, I think I went maybe in a slightly different direction than you were expecting. Because as I was thinking about music that I listened to, I ended up moving like farther and farther back in time.
Literally?
Yeah.
You figured out how to time travel?
I'm 16 now.
Oh my God. Wait, that's not time travel. That's just de-aging.
It's time travel too.
There's a second one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 2 time travels.
Wow.
The things that I'm planning on talking about will probably surprise you, or maybe it won't. I mean, it'll probably surprise you that like what the hell are you talking about?
This is quite a buildup to whatever you're gonna.
But not in the way of just like, okay, I would expect you to mention these things. So you know what I mean? Where it's like,
you would expect me to mention these things?
No, you would expect me to mention these things. Like, oh, of course you do this, like this. Of course you listened to this when you were this age.
Oh, okay.
Even though, I don't know. It's the kind of thing where I imagine from like an outside perspective, it's on brand for me.
Oh, sure.
Before we move into that, the first thing that I have written down for just like stuff to talk about, and it's something that has been on my mind, and we talked about it last night, but I'm curious if you have any more thoughts about it, is about fast food drive-thrus. So here we are back again talking about fast food. So I will preface this by saying that for the longest time, I did not go through any kind of drive-thru. And the reason was that my car's driver's side window has never rolled down since I've had that car.
Right.
So I got that car my senior year in high school, and I still have it. I don't drive it because it doesn't really work anymore. But that car's driver's side window never rolled down. So driving in the summer was terrible because I couldn't roll down the window because the AC also didn't work. And I just never took it in to get it fixed because like it's a cheap car. It's kind of crappy.
Yeah, if you don't need to use it, then don't.
And if I don't need to use it for, 9 months out of the year, it's like, do I really want to spend the money on this? The answer is yes, I really should have. So what I would end up doing is rolling down the other 3 windows during the summer to like let some air circulation through the car. So driver's side window does not roll down.
It's
never went through a drive-through except on the off occasion where it's like, I just don't want to go in, and it's just it seems quicker to go through a drive-through or whatever. In which case I would like have to open the door and order and then open get back into the car and then drive up to the window and then do that whole debacle. But now I drive my girlfriend's car and that window does roll down.
Woo!
So I can use drive-throughs. But the important thing here is that I have missed out on like, when did I get that car? I got that car in like 2011. So it's been like 9 years of never really going through a drive-through. So I am pretty inexperienced when it comes to getting food through a drive-through.
Okay.
The last few times that I can remember going and ordering and getting food, something has always been missing. And I know in the order, and I know I should check, and I know that I should also ask the person and like, is this everything? But I like to think that the people that are at, McDonald's or Burger King or Taco Bell or whatever, they're on top of it. Yeah. I like to trust that the employees are doing their job and that they're going to give me all my food.
Well, there's nothing worse than when you're an employee and somebody's like, "Is this everything?" And you're like,
it
"Yeah,
sucks.
bitch,
It's like I don't want to question whether or not they're doing their job, especially now during COVID times when it's like you're stressed enough as it is having to deal with all these people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to add on to that by making you seem like an idiot that you didn't give me all my food, you know?
Right.
But I got to say that of those 3 places that I mentioned, McDonald's, Burger King, and Taco Bell, in which I've gone through the drive-through, something has been missing.
Every time?
Almost every time, yes.
Wow.
So I remember one time, like going through. Actually, it's happened at McDonald's twice.
Oh.
Where
which McDonald's are you going to?
It's the one on Brooks.
Oh.
So it's that one.
Okay. Not my McDonald's, but anyway.
Yeah, something has always been missing, and I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know how common it is because I still don't really go through the drive-through that often. But I just want to know. This is my big question. How many trips should it take for the person to give you all your food?
It should take one.
That is my assumption.
Yeah, I mean,
that it's one.
It shouldn't be happening so much. Like I've had to go back, and I've done it. I think once or twice, and as long as you're just like, oh, hey, I think this was supposed to be in here. Like it's very easy, and they'll usually give you something else free in addition to it. But if it's like too busy of a drive-through, then sometimes I'll just like not even go back. Or like if I'm already home, I don't want to drive all the way back to
yeah, and that's when I find out is when I get home and then realize, oh, this food's not in the bag.
Yeah, it's not there.
Okay, because that's just what I want to know is like how many trips is the expectation? Because I also look in the bag and I see like you could have fit the other sandwich in here. Was it just not done yet? If it wasn't done, why didn't you put it in the bag? Did you just forget? Were you wanting to separate the chicken sandwich from the hamburger to put them in separate bags? Because that doesn't make any sense. Just put it all in one single bag. Why are these things being separated? You know, and it also like it. What also makes it more confusing is when like they hand you your food, but then they also seem to just like, you know, they close the window. You seem to have like an end to the transaction in terms of just like, you know, I've paid you. You've given me the food. We've said our goodbyes, and I drive away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not expecting you to come back with more food, but like 3 or 4 times now, I'm not getting all my food, and I just don't know how many trips it's really supposed to take for me to get all of my food. Because my expectation is one, that unless the person says we still have more for you, when they hand me the bag contains my entire order.
I think, well, so have you been, when you say you said your goodbyes, are they saying something like, because I feel like when I get food, they always say something like, here you go, have a good day, or like, here's your order. And if there's more food, they'll start by saying like, here's your like number 1 combo, or here's your drink, here's your ice cream. And they won't say like, and here's the rest or something like that if there's more to come. So are you saying that they've already said like, here's all your food?
Well, I guess I don't know. I don't know what drive-through like vernacular is. Like, should they be hinting that there's more food? If not, just tell me explicitly, here's some of it, there's more coming.
Well, yeah, I think that's what they do. They're like, okay, here's this, and they're banking on you remembering what you ordered. So you're like, cool, I still need this, and this, or whatever. I don't know how much food you're getting.
I'm getting food for 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
Enough that like it should all fit in one bag.
Yeah. I wonder if they sometimes put it in multiple bags because it definitely doesn't look as nice when it's like stacked up to the top and like barely closes, you know, like
I suppose, but also I don't give a shit.
Well, I know you don't give a shit, but it could be company policy.
Maybe. I don't know. It's just, it's very confusing and it's very frustrating to come home and realize, oh, I'm missing food.
It is. It's not a good feeling.
Especially the last time, which was like $8 worth of food.
Yeah, that's no good.
No. And I don't want to go back because it's like 10 minutes of driving.
Yeah, and then your other food's going to be cold.
Yeah.
And also it never feels good to be like, excuse me, but you actually forgot this thing. Because, I mean, people do it to me or they have done it to me at places, and it's actually really, that doesn't matter as long as they're nice about it.
Yeah. Yeah. For
But it makes me feel like I'm being annoying to the workers because I know they've probably got a ton of other shit going on.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want to, I don't want to ask them every time, like, is this everything? But I also don't want to be the person that's just like rummaging through the bag, like just to make sure everything is there. It's like,
I mean, that's just what you got to do. Like,
I know.
Just do it quick. And it doesn't take that long. And I think it's a thing that like 50% of people do it. And if somebody's behind you, like waiting to go up to the window, I don't think anybody is going to be mad that you like, they see your little bag go in there and then it takes like 30 seconds for you to drive away. Because obviously then that's what you're doing. You're just checking to make sure you got your food. And then it solves all your problems.
yeah.
You don't have to, like drive around again in the drive-through. Or you don't have to go home and realize you don't have any food.
Yeah. Because I know that at the very least, that's been a long-standing issue with my dad.
Is him not getting his food?
Yep.
Oh,
so he makes it a habit, or like he would make it a habit when I was growing up, that he would check and make sure everything was there. Because a lot of times, not everything would be there.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's helpful if you have a co-pilot, somebody in the front seat, then you hand the bag to them. And then as you're like preparing to get out of the drive-through, then you'd be like, all right, look through there, make sure we got everything.
Yeah. I don't know. That was just my thing, is that
you're pretty steamed about that.
I am. I'm not getting all my food.
Oh, is that you're still hungry? That's why you're so upset.
I'm still hungry. There's a what did I get? I don't know, probably like a chicken sandwich shaped hole in my stomach.
Because you didn't get your chicken
sandwich? Because I didn't get my chicken sandwich.
From where? From Burger King? From McDonald's? From Taco Bell?
Yeah, from Taco Bell.
Yeah.
I don't know. One of those places I didn't get a chicken sandwich. I will say though, never missed a single item from Wendy's.
Yeah.
Wendy's I'm not going to give them I'm going to give them 99% always giving me my food. I'm sure there's one time I forgot something or they forgot something. So I'll give them a 99%. They get an A+. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, politics aside, I do really like Wendy's. It's really solid food. Tastes really good. It's really good value.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to run a tight ship. I don't know.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Love Wendy's. Haven't had it in a while though.
Yeah. It's honestly the one here in Missoula, too busy. The one on Brooks.
People love it.
I know. Whenever I go there, like,
both Wendy's in town are like usually pretty busy.
Yeah, that makes sense. There should be another one. Why is there another? I don't know.
The Hoagieville to Wendy's ratio is a little skewed.
That's true. Have you ever been to Hoagieville?
I've gone once.
Okay, this is really Missoula specific now we're getting into here.
I think most of our audience is still here in town, though.
Yeah, that is a fair point. Yeah. Oh, we should ask a Twitter question. Hoagieville, cool or ghoul?
Ghoul, because it's Halloween.
Cool or ghoul? I've never been to Hoagieville, and I want to know if I should go try it. If more people say that it's cool than it's ghoul, I'll go try it.
All right.
And if more people say ghoul than cool, I still might try it, but I won't go in a hurry.
I've gone there once with our friend PJ. It was the one in the mall. I think I got cheese fries or something. I don't really remember what I got.
That one of their big things is cheese fries.
Yeah, I don't really remember what I got. Also, I think the number of Hoagievilles has slowly been reducing.
Well, yeah, because I think I know everybody I know who's gone to Hoagieville has gone like once.
And I can't believe that any point of people were going to 4 different locations.
Enough to keep them in business.
Yeah, the fact that there were 4 Hoagievilles. Yeah. Unbelievable.
It's pretty wild.
Is Hoagieville only... Is that a local thing? It can't be. There's 4 of them. It's got to be somewhere around like
I've never seen them anywhere else.
The west coast of the country.
I don't know.
I don't know either. If any Hoagieville aficionados are out there that can shed some light on the franchisability of the restaurant, we'd love your input. Yeah,
Josh and I are thinking about opening one together. And we figured we'd probably do pretty good at that. We'd make sure that the drive-through, every time all the food went out.
One bag,
no matter what.
Yeah, we're gonna have different sized bags, so
So-
it always comes in one bag.
So if somebody got 100 burgers, we'd have a giant bag.
You're getting a duffel sized plastic bag.
What if we gave them an actual duffel bag, but it said on it like, "Please return to Hoagieville."
Please return to Hoagieville.
We
Also
only have
listen to
one-
our podcast.
One duffel bag.
Yeah, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. I will say I went to Taco John's the other day. And,
I haven't been to Taco John's in a while.
well, I love Taco John's.
Yeah,
But-
I know.
They didn't give me my potato olays.
Oh no.
And boy, everything, it really all rides on that potato olays, because you can put them in like all your stuff. You can put them in a soft burrito and it makes that burrito go from a 2 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10.
Damn.
And well, more like an 8 out of 10. But if you don't have those potato olays, it's not very good. And I don't know, the tacos are fine, like the hard shell tacos, but
I mean,
you gotta have the olays.
especially now, since Taco John's is the only place to get any sort of potato product in a
With your
taco.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
true.
Yeah. Wow. I haven't had Taco John's in a long time. That I know is only a west half of the U.S. thing.
Yeah, it started in Wyoming.
Of all places.
Yeah.
Did we go to the original Taco John's?
We were close if we weren't at the original one.
Okay.
But we did go to a Taco John's in Wyoming.
We sure did. And it was a Wednesday, middle of the day, like 1:00, and everyone working there looked like they were in high school.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yep.
What's more important, working or education? I say working because I'm a good capitalist boy.
As you should be.
Yeah,
Anything else you really want to? That was really my big thing.
I know you really got into it.
I sure did. Anything else you want to talk about before we dive into the week's ep?
No, my mind is now totally consumed by thinking
Fast.
about fast food, which I've been eating too much of recently, and I need to start eating like salads and real food at home. So I'm going to try to not think about it.
All right. Well, we've covered our bases of the first part of the episode either being about fast food or poop. That box has been checked,
Check.
which means we can have a little transition here. I guess I'll put this in post and then move on to the episode.
What a girl wants, what a girl needs, whatever makes me.
These are the songs kids are singing. And now they're all together on Kids Bop. Kids Bop, 30 of today's biggest songs made just for kids. Newly recorded from the Kids Bop Kids.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play.
You'll go crazy for Kids Bop.
Bye, bye, bye. You believe in life after
We
love.
can dance to this music all day.
This is one CD that the kids and I can listen to together.
This music really gets me pumped.
I did it again.
I want it.
I know.
With Kids Bop, you'll never stop. Here's how to order.
My sunshine.
To order, call the number on your screen. You must be 18 or older to call.
Okay.
Are we back?
We're back.
Okay, I have a question for you, Josh.
Yes.
So, you're an only child,
I am an only child.
correct? I said that like I was. I'm quizzing you. I don't know why.
Next question.
I'm trying to find out if it's really you. No, but okay. So you're an only child, and I grew up with an older brother and a younger brother. But so my question is, how did you find out about like new forms of media that you liked, like whether it's music, like we're going to talk about today, or like movies or TV or video games? Because I feel like a lot of my taste was shaped by what I saw my brother listening to or doing or like watching. And so, yeah, like what would you say was your main, because we didn't have really the internet as we have it today. So
That's true.
like, how was what influenced you and how did you find out about these things?
Boy, what a very good question, because honestly, I don't really know. And this is kind of why earlier I was saying like the music that I'm about to mention both makes sense and is also very surprising. So I guess we can start with maybe the first like one of the first I don't know, musical artists, I suppose, that I like found out about that I was thinking like, I kind of really like this. And this is probably going to be a surprise to you and probably to anyone that really knows me. And that it's Taj Mahal, the blues singer.
Oh, really?
Because he was on an episode of Arthur.
Oh, I think
and
I
he
remember
like played some music and was like, that's pretty cool.
That's wow. You're right. I would never have guessed that.
And you also probably would have never guessed that the first CD that I ever bought with my own money was the best of Taj Mahal.
Wow. Well, I would have guessed it after you told me that, but
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So how I learned about new music and whatever, like I really didn't. The music I listened to, whatever my parents listened to. So my dad really liked Celine Dion. So there was a lot of Celine Dion CDs in the house.
Really? Your dad really liked Celine Dion? Wow.
Yep.
So Takahiro is out in his studio. He's got his, I don't really remember. I know he does a lot of like metal work, right? Art.
He was doing bronze casting when I was growing up.
Okay. So he's got like fires going in there. And he's got like his goggles on and a mask probably, and he's got a hammer. I don't really know how bronze working works, but then he's just blaring Celine Dion in there.
He might have, because he had like 3 different shops to like work in for like different stages of the process, and I think only one of them had a stereo in there, so he probably would have been listening to CDs or cassette tapes in there. But it was mostly when he was just in the house and not really like reading the newspaper or something. There would just maybe be some music playing.
Wow.
I don't ever really remember my dad listening, like explicitly listening to music. Yeah. It's not a clear memory that I have of him just like, purposely putting on something because he wants to listen to it. So I don't really know when he listened to these CDs, but I know that he liked them because we had a ton of them.
Maybe he just liked the pictures.
That could be it too. Who knows? There were some foldouts in those jewel cases.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So listen to a lot of Celine Dion. There was So
wait, can I stop? How old were you when you were like into Taj Mahal and Celine Dion?
Celine Dion would have been earlier. That would have been like, I was like 6 or 7 years old.
Okay.
And I think the only reason my dad found out about Celine Dion was because she had that song in the Titanic.
Oh,
like My Heart Will Go On. That was in the Titanic. And my parents owned the 2 VHS like home video release of Titanic. So maybe that's where it all started. So whenever, I don't know, I would have been like 6 or younger at the time. And then Taj Mahal was later. So I bought a CD and Borders was around. So that would have been, I don't know, I would have been like 10.
Okay.
Somewhere around that age, give or take a couple years. So yeah, really before I started learning about what I liked in music as like a whole, which I didn't find out what I really liked until way later. Because the timeline for how I like me finding out about music is just like what my parents liked, and then like, oh, I like video game music. And then I had a weird country phase because my
I did not know about that.
Yeah, because one of my really good friends growing up really liked country music, so I was like, oh yeah, country music, Rascal Flatts, hell yeah. Before it transitioned into what is maybe more like, I don't know, what you would expect, which is like pop punk. Before I like moved on into that, because I had like my best friend at the time also really liked it. So yeah, it's like a weird like roller coaster of just like I'm just absorbing everything and like listening to everything.
Wow.
So like it was all nebulous until like 7th grade, when it's like, yes, I like pop punk, I like punk, I like rock music. This is it. And then it just kind of like, slowly formed and changed over the years into what I like now, which is kind of a mix of all those things. But for a while it was, I'm just going to listen to this, I guess. This is what I like.
I guess that is pretty much true of like most kids that age. I feel like you do have like your favorites, like you like really know you like one thing, but then anything else, I feel like you can really be easily like swayed into liking,
for sure,
depending on who your major influence is.
Yeah, definitely. Did you have anything similar where like you started listening to things that were for for 2020, Paul is very off brand.
I mean, a teeny bit. Like the first music I really liked and like would listen to like on like I had like a little cassette player that I had, like my friends had CDs, but I couldn't afford the CDs. So they would lend me their CDs and I would record it onto a cassette tape.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I would play that in my little cassette Walkman. And those were all Weird Al like albums. Like my older brother had the Food album and the TV album, both of those compilations from Weird Al. And so I had those and would listen to those often. And then I think I had a friend that got like Running with Scissors and Poodle Hat. And then like as I got older, I like actually had some money, so I could afford to buy CDs for myself. So I would buy Weird Al CDs, and I got myself a Walkman with a CD player. And would listen to that.
Did you get anti-skip?
No, it wasn't anti-skip, so I had to be very gentle. And I couldn't take it walking around, even though it's a Walkman, because it would just skip so much. So, but if we were on like a long car trip, I could do that. But so I would listen to like Weird Al, and then I also actually had a friend who was really into country music. And he would, whenever I would hang out at his house, and his dad would be driving us there, he would put on the country station and we would listen to country music. And I remember thinking like, yeah, I like this. Until one time I was with my dad. And I think we were at Blockbuster, weirdly enough. Wow, this story is very on brand for this podcast. My dad and I were at Blockbuster waiting for some reason. We were out in the car and I was like, can we turn the radio on? And he was like, sure. What do you want to tune it to? And I was like, 103.4 or whatever. And he changed it. He tuned the dial to that. And it was the country station. And he just started laughing at me because he was like, this is terrible.
Oh, that's funny.
Which it probably was, because early 2000s pop country, I imagine, is not very good. I think that lots of like original country, from like the 50s, the 40s, 50s until like even the 90s, I'd say is very good.
I think most alt country is good.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. But most of what you would hear on the radio station is not very good.
Yeah, the radio station that I would listen to was 106.3 The Bear.
Oh,
yeah,
The Bear.
Which from what I can remember was just a lot of Brooks and Dunn and a lot of Josh Turner. You got old Garth in there. Yeah, so just like whatever was popular at the time. You got some Reba.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was all right. But I would have been like, I don't know, like this would have been somewhere between 6th through 8th grade. And what's like a really like weird dissonant kind of thing that I remember doing was, so my mom had like this small portable radio.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like just use that and listen to the radio through that, because I could like take it into my room and then just listen to the radio, because the only other thing we had with the radio on it was just like a huge stereo.
Sure.
Like in the dining room or whatever. So what I would do was I would just listen to whatever, it was pretty much the one radio station I would listen to. And I remember, and I do the same thing now, but with my phone. I would just like place it under my pillow and then just like listen to it and fall asleep. So I would just like listen to country music and then
on your way to Dreamland.
On my way to Dreamland, just lull myself to sleep. But I would also do the same thing when I would just like play video games. So I remember playing Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2 or whatever it was called on the GameCube, which is like I don't really know how to describe it other than, I don't know. It's just like a very Japanese looking game where there's like anime girls, anime boys, robots. It's very sci-fi. A lot of beeps and boops, a lot of holograms.
Beeps and boops.
Yep. A lot of all that stuff. So I'm playing this game, playing a big robot, shooting bigger robots and listening to country music in my room during the summer, which is such like a weird dissonant thing to think about. Just like listening to Josh Turner sing about his truck while I'm playing a video game as a robot. What a weird like.
Yeah, Josh Turner never imagined some kid listening to his song while doing that, I'm sure.
Yeah, roaming the fields or like this volcano or like doing whatever, shooting stuff with a gun, cutting things with my laser sword. And then here comes Amarillo Sky, where some guy is talking about how his farm is beautiful.
He does have a beautiful farm, doesn't he?
Yeah, something like that. Oh boy, it's so weird.
That's just, kids are just like really weird like that. Like that's the kind of shit that I really appreciate when you like see a kid doing something like that, or which I guess you would never see that just walking around. But you know what I mean? Like, just like enjoying
things for the sake of enjoying it.
Yeah, not like
not for any other reason that I like this and I'm going to do it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's very pure.
Mm-hmm.
Did you explicitly listen to music? Because I would buy CDs and I would have the radio on, but I would always be doing something else. And I still do that now, where I always listen to music as kind of like a background thing. I don't think I've ever sat down, put on headphones and listened to. No, I have. And I think it was, it was Weird Al's Linwood album. I think I did it with that. I think that's the only one that I can think of.
Straight out of Linwood.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when that album came out. I bought that like, I think the day it came out, probably. As a kid, I don't think I did. Well, actually, I did have. So at one point, boy, I forgot about this. When would that have been? When I was in probably like third grade, I asked my parents for a CD player. I didn't have any CDs, but I wanted a CD player, and they got me a CD player, and they also bought me like a Kids Sing the Hits CD, which I at the time really liked.
Okay.
It wasn't Kids Bop.
Okay. No, even better. And I don't mean to interrupt you, but this is something that I just like have been searching for the last like week or two, and like just trying to find whatever the song was so I can play it during the episode. And I'm hoping that whatever this CD has this song. Was it just all kids singing?
Yeah.
Okay. Because when I looked up Kids Bop, because I think I had the first Kids Bop, there's like adults singing primarily, but then there's also like kids in the chorus. Did this CD that you're talking about have Joy to the World by Three Dog Night?
I don't think so.
Ah, damn it.
Okay. No, this was just like it was like Kids Bop, but it was all kids, and it wasn't called Kids Bop. It was definitely like the cheaper knockoff version of it. But I remember there were two songs on it that I liked. I didn't like any of the other songs, and it was I'm a Believer, the Monkees song, and All Star by Smash Mouth.
I think, man, I feel like I had this exact same CD, because I think both of those songs were also on this CD, and I
maybe the Three Dog Night song was on there, and I just didn't listen to it because I want
to find out what this CD is, because I just remember again doing something. I was playing Mario Sunshine, in particular the first level of the hotel, where there's a giant ghost manta ray that you have to like defeat, and I had like in my little CD player, I had whatever CD this was, and there's just some kid belting out and Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog.
See, I don't know if that was on there because I liked that song and I feel like I would have listened to it. Although maybe like some part of me at that point in my life, because I had heard the original, maybe I was like, this isn't as good as the original, which would be a weird thing for a kid to think. But I remember the cover was blue, like a blue background. And then it just said like Kids Sing the Hits or whatever.
Oh,
and like yellow or red writing. I think it was blue, yellow, and red color scheme. I'm fairly sure of that. But it was not Kids Bop. I'm 100% sure of that.
Yeah, because I checked the first Kids Bop like CD that they put out, because it's on Spotify, and I don't recognize most of the songs on there. I also don't. It has like 26 songs on there, and I remember this CD only having like 10.
Yeah, that's how mine was too.
Okay. It's kind of crazy that we both probably had the same CD.
Yeah,
that we listened to
and like different songs and
yeah.
I remember specifically what I would do is I would play, I think All Star and I'm a Believer. Did I call it I Want to Be a Believer earlier? I think I might have.
I don't think so. I think you were.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
I'm a Believer and All Star I think were the first 2 songs on the CD. And so what I would do is I would put it on my CD player and then I would like jump on my bed, I think. So I was like, that was probably as close as I came as a kid to just like sitting down and listening to music, other than like a long car ride. If it was a long car ride, I would just like sit there and listen to music for, forever. Just my little Walkman cassette.
Yeah, man. I really want to know what that CD, and maybe it's still at my parents' house. I should probably ask and see if that CD is sandwiched between Celine Dion and John Cicada.
Oh yeah, you should. I remember that mine is definitely not there at my parents' house anymore because as a kid, I like couldn't keep my CD cases like from falling apart because I guess I would just drop them constantly. So I remember finding there were like just multiple pieces of that CD case just around my room.
Oh my God.
So like there'd be like the back part of it with like the disc in it because it has the little thing that like you click it into. And then there's the front that's just like gone. And then the booklet that was also the cover was just like in with my books for some reason. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But even now as an adult, I don't really sit down and listen to music. Well, I do if it's like, if I find out that like one of my favorite artists, like if like Jeff Rosenstock or Antarctigo Vespucci like releases like a single, I will sometimes just like pop in my headphones and like sit down and listen to it. And yeah, I try to do that. Like the closest thing I probably get to it besides that is like when a new album comes out that I really want to listen to is I'll like when I'm taking my dog for a walk, I'll like play it on my headphones.
Yeah, that's a good time to do it.
Yeah.
You're not preoccupied with something else. You're just walking.
Mm-hmm.
You can really kind of focus on what it is that you're listening to.
Yeah. It's like going on a walk with my dog or like driving. That's like my prime, like music or even like podcast time because
for sure.
I'm not just like sitting there easily getting distracted by like my phone or whatever, but I can also be doing something and enjoy the music and really like pay attention.
Yeah. Huh. Any other early music listening memories you got?
Well, so weirdly enough, one of my big influences was, besides my older brother, who really got me into like Relient K, which we'll talk about in a little bit here, I'm sure, was our friend Brendan. He and I would often talk on MSN Messenger.
Ooh.
Which I don't know if I brought that up yet on this podcast, but it was a thing that I used a lot.
Wow.
I mean, we didn't have phones, so we weren't like texting, and it seemed stupid to email each other.
You got to get on that IM, man.
Yeah, no, you got to get on Instant Messenger. And so I remember that it had a function where you could send like one song like at a time. And it would take probably like 15 minutes to download to like send it and to download it. But I remember that was like my intro into a few songs. And I remember, let's see, what songs did he send me first? I feel like I can remember them. One of them was a song by Daughtry.
Oh yeah. I loved Daughtry. That was during my country phase.
Yeah. I only ever had the one song and I don't even remember what song it is now. I bet if I looked through his Spotify account, I could.
If it's on their first album, I bet it was track 3. I don't remember the song, but I remember loving track 3.
Could have been. And then the other one was a Maroon 5 song.
Oh, I also really liked Maroon 5.
Yeah. Both of those are bands that now I cannot stand, and I will actively search for something else to listen to or just straight up turn anything off if I have any control over the situation. But I remember really liking those. And
yeah.
I think it's because they were just like pop songs on the radio.
Probably. Maroon 5 was super popular during that time, I bet.
Yeah.
Because I had two or three Maroon 5 songs on my MP3 player, and I would listen to those songs when I rode my bike to school. I don't remember which songs they were there. I don't know, just like the really popular ones during like the 2000s that they had. But I would pop my headphones in and bike to school, jamming out to Maroon 5.
Wow.
Yeah. But I guess, I don't know, kind of moving backwards a bit, because we do have little snippets of some of these songs.
Oh yeah.
So moving back a little bit to Taj Mahal, it's this, I don't know, to me, this memory is just like so like funny because like I said, I would always be doing something else. So after a while of, however many hundreds of hours of playing Super Smash Brothers Melee, I I get sick of the music, and I kind of do that now where like if I'm playing a game for so long, even if the music is really good, at some point I'm just going to turn that down and I'm going to listen to something else, just like a podcast or something.
Sure.
So that's what I would do. I would turn on this Taj Mahal like CD, and I would I have distinct memories of listening to this CD, playing Super Smash Brothers Melee, trying to get like an achievement to unlock Mewtwo. I think that's what it was, something like that. But I remember listening to this song when I was very specifically on the stage on it. I don't remember what I was doing, but I just remember this song and on it, and also listening to this song and many others on this album, The Best of Taj Mahal, while fishing in RuneScape.
Whoa.
Yeah. So this is kind of like a dual memory for me. But here it is.
Takes you back.
Takes me back. Here it is. This is Leaving Trunk by Taj Mahal.
It's just so funny to picture little Josh like listening to this while fishing in RuneScape. It's like honestly, like I could kind of see, like you playing like Smash Brothers doing something like this, but the fishing and RuneScape thing really just kills me.
I went upstairs to pack my leaving trunk.
This is definitely what he imagined when he was singing the song. Was you as a middle schooler?
Ain't no whiskey. I think blue made me slap a drunk.
That's pretty good though. I mean, as far as like kid music taste goes, that's got to be like some of the highest.
I got to thank Arthur for that.
Yeah.
And that one episode that he was on. But
Did you also really like Architecture by Frank Gehry, and
I wouldn't say I liked it, but I knew about it.
Maybe
I did know about it though. So
Did you listen to Yo-Yo Ma? Yo-Yo Ma was on Arthur.
I have listened to. I think I did listen to a couple things by Yo-Yo Ma, but I was like, not my style.
Not your speed.
Taj Mahal, definitely my speed though. The thing is that I remember being in Borders thinking like, I'm going to buy my first CD ever, and like wasn't sure what to get. And I was like, but I have to buy a CD today.
You have to get one.
I have to get one. Today's the only day I can ever buy a CD, and I have to buy one. And I remember just like looking through and just thinking like, I don't really know who makes music. I just remember thinking like, I don't know who any of these people are. I don't know what I like. And I got to like, I'm like looking through alphabetically, just like, I don't know who any of these people are. And then I see like, wait a minute, I know this name from Arthur. I recognize.
So you were going. You took you a while.
It took me a while. I remember just like I mean, just in general, I would spend a lot of time at Borders just because it was fun. But I didn't know any like I didn't know music. But that was just like the one thing I recognized. I was like, this is it. This is going to be the one that I'm going to buy. I don't know which album to get. Greatest Hits probably got some good stuff on there. So I bought it.
Wow. How much was it? Do you remember?
I don't know, like $11, $12.
Oh, that's pretty high price for a kid.
Yeah. Wasn't it was, but thinking back, not that bad. Not that bad of a price overall.
Pretty reasonable.
But I mean, also listening to that song now and like listening to a lot of those other songs now, they're pretty good. I will still listen to those songs. Probably won't seek them out, but if I don't know, who knows? After this, maybe I will. Maybe I'll put them on a playlist or something.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, but I don't know, just very strange. But another during this same time of just like music discovery, my mom also had a CD that was entitled Smooth Jazz, The Originals, Volume 1.
Ooh, the originals.
Yeah, of which I also would pop in that CD. This one is more specifically RuneScape oriented, where I would, instead of listening to Yesteryear, or instead of listening to Sea Shanty, I would instead turn that shit off, pop in Smooth Jazz Volume 1 into the old CD player, which eventually I got a new one that had anti-skip, even though it didn't matter because it's on a desk.
Yeah, you're not stomping around.
I'm not moving anywhere. Yeah, so I remember listening to this CD while playing RuneScape, and also Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. There are some songs on here that I do remember like going through one of the like the second or third level in that game. Again, just a very weird taste, just like especially thinking about like listening to smooth jazz while also playing Metroid, which is just like, for those that don't know, just like a very sci-fi oriented game. Not very incongruent. Like you wouldn't really pair those two things together. But in terms of RuneScape, listening to this CD, I very specifically remember being a member, like the 1 month ever that my parents paid for a membership. This was fishing in Catherby, like one of the very first like members areas that you can access. And I think I was never
a member, so I wouldn't know.
This is, and it's still to this day, whenever I log back into RuneScape, people are still always here, like grinding out like their fishing levels. But this is She Likes to Watch by the Rippingtons.
Oh, this is a lot steamier than I thought it was going to be.
This is the perfect music to fish to.
This is like, wow, this is way hornier than I imagined. I was imagining like, yeah, I don't know what I was imagining, but it was not.
Not this?
No. Oh, that's really good. That's great. I really like that.
Yeah. It's just like one of those weird things where like these are like the songs that I have access to. So I guess this is what I'll listen to, and I guess I like it. That album was really good, by the way. I really
smooth jazz.
The smooth jazz, 1. The originals, Volume 1. Linus and Lucy is on it.
Really?
Yeah, by David Benoit. Like a nice jazz arrangement of Linus and Lucy.
Wow. That song, honestly, when I think of original jazz, I don't think of songs like that, but I'm no jazz aficionado, so.
Yeah. No jazz head?
I'm not a jazz head. I'm not jazzing all over the place.
Those are like some of my earliest memories of like listening to music and just like sitting in front of my parents. Oh, what was it? It was just like I think it was an HP lap or HP desktop, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I like it took me so long to realize, and I didn't realize this until way later when I started learning about really how like computers are constructed.
Mm-hmm.
That like, cause I could never make a mix CD ever. And the reason is that our computer, like the CD drive was read only.
Oh yeah. It didn't have
write capabilities.
Yeah.
And
that's how mine was too.
And I never knew that you needed both. I was like, why can't I want to make a CD. Like
yeah.
Everyone's making like mix CDs and whatever. It's like,
or like burning CDs.
Yeah. It's like,
copies.
what? I can't do this shit.
I remember when we finally got the program that allowed us to do that, and we had to install a second disk drive.
Whoa!
I'm actually very impressed now that I think about it. That it must have been my older brother who did more of it than my dad. But like we had the old family desktop that we'd had for probably like 8 years at that point, and somehow we installed a drive that you could like put a blank CD in and then burn a CD, and it was really amazing for a while. And
wow,
yeah, my older brother taught me how to do it, and
you just take that shit for granted now.
Yeah, just now
Back then, you needed 2 drives.
Back then, you had a disk drive. My new computer doesn't.
Oh, that's also a good point.
I can't make a burn CD if I want to.
Yeah.
I can make a Spotify playlist. That's about it.
Same thing. It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Wow. I guess like pretty much after like this whole blues and jazz and country music kind of like amorphous state. One of my best friend growing up, pretty much like from preschool up through like high school, where we just kind of like started, as things happen throughout time, we, went our separate ways and kind of like lost contact. But I've been trying to like get back into contact with him. I cannot find him. He does not exist on the internet.
Whoa.
Which is really weird to think about, thinking about like all like the video games and like computer stuff that like we did together, that he just like, I can't find him on the internet. Very strange. But the only reason that we were friends, like in the very first place, like since preschool, is because we both had the same name.
Oh, he was
Josh. The other Josh in class.
Also Josh King Watira.
Yep. There were 2 of us. But at a certain point, he like started listening to pop punk, and like punk music in general. And so I started like getting into it. Like I started getting into Green Day. I remember going to Borders and like back then they had like little kiosks. You could scan the CD, and if there was like a preview for it, you could listen to the songs to make sure you wanted to buy it. So I would like scan Dookie and just listen to that.
Stand there listening to Dookie, and then just like no intention of buying it, but just you want to listen to it.
Yep. Well, I didn't have money, so I couldn't buy it. I also don't think my mom would let me buy a Green Day CD.
It's got that explicit tag on the front.
Even though she would call me over to the radio whenever Boulevard of Broken Dreams was playing, because I love that song.
Oh yeah, I remember really liking that song for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, probably because it was going to be clean.
Yeah.
Because I know American Idiot was the first Green Day album I heard. Was that the first one you heard, or did you? What was
that was the first one that I heard, and then it's the kind of thing where like you're learning about stuff and you're not sure the order in which like albums come out. So like I would see American Idiot. I would see Dookie. I would see, what's the one with like the yellow sticker on it?
Nimrod.
I would see those. Like, I don't know, like which ones are good, which one, like just like being really confused about it. So I would just like scan it and just like listen. I was like, yeah, all right.
Mm-hmm.
I remember which is kind of like a weird thing, like kind of to like separate myself from, like if you were in like a bookstore or whatever, it's just kind of like funny to see like some kid with headphones on that's too big, and maybe the music's a little too loud and you can kind of hear like Longview playing out of it.
Yeah. Or he just sings about masturbating a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I remember around that same time I got reacquainted with somebody who would become my best friend in high school, and she like was super into, had like already kind of like dived into like punk music. So like things like Green Day, Sum 41, Blink-182. She like really like opened my eyes to a lot of that stuff, and like just what I was always like talking about it was like, have you listened to this? Have you listened to this? Have you listened to this? And would like always lend me albums and stuff. And at first I was kind of lukewarm on it. I was kind of like, oh, I haven't heard that. And I was like, oh, I don't know. But then as I like heard stuff that she was listening to, and I would put it on my own iTunes library and listen to it. And I started to get more and more into that kind of stuff. But it definitely started with like hearing American Idiot in like 2004 on the radio a little bit. And then my older brother had the full album. So I remember him playing it and feeling really scandalized by the fact that they say fuck in like the first track in American Idiot. They say like my fuck America or whatever. And I remember being like, whoa.
Knowing your parents, did they know he bought this album? Did they care? Did you have to keep it a secret?
They knew he had it. It was just like in our family CDs, and he was playing it on our family CD player. But what they did not like was that he was singing along with it one time in front of me, and I told on him. I mean, he didn't really get in trouble. They just were like, you shouldn't say fuck. But I mean, he would have been like 16 or 17 at the time.
Oh, okay.
So he was quite a bit older than I was. But he also had a lot of like Relient K that he would listen to. And I remember him driving me to school. And as he would drive me to school, he would be like playing Two Lefts Don't Make a Right, but Three Do, or whatever that album is called. That
I think that sounds correct.
Yeah. So I remember him playing like that album a lot. And like, that was kind of how I got into like my own like pop punk kind of phase. And then, yeah, like moving away from the Christian rock area into like more like, yeah, Blink-182 and Sum 41 and stuff like that. And I think that was around the same time that I got my first iPod. I think I saved up a bunch of money from like mowing lawns and from my birthday. And I bought an iPod Classic video. And it was like 50 gigabytes.
Whoa, dang.
Yeah, and
that's huge.
I was like, all right, I got to load this thing up with some music and a movie. And I don't think I ever got any movies because I don't know how I fucked it up, but I broke the iPod, like the headphone jack.
Oh, no.
And so it would only ever play out of one side.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and I had just gotten like some nicer headphones too.
Dang.
Which was really annoying.
Wow. I never had an iPod. I had a Zune.
Oh, you were a Zune kid?
I was a Zune kid because my friend Josh also got a Zune. I was like, fuck, that's cool. So I got to get a Zune now. And then I got a Zune. I don't know, like in June, I went back to visit my parents and I found my old Zune. And I think I brought it back with me. So it's somewhere in here.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know where the cable is. So I can't like charge it and turn it on.
Yeah.
Because that would have been a perfect, like, I'm going to look through this device that I had through like from like 8th grade through 12th grade. And just like, it would have just had all the music that I listened to. Eventually I got an iPod. I got an iPod in college when they were like starting to phase out the iPod Classic.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Because it was like $130 to get the 250 gig iPod. I was like, okay, that's great. That's more storage than like what my phone has. Those during the days when you would carry 2 devices in your pocket.
Yeah, that is kind of wild, actually, to think like you would have an iPod and a cell phone just taking up space.
Yeah. And then I lost that iPod on Mountain Sentinel.
I remember that.
Yep. I spent because I was like, I'm done with my hike. I'm going to go back home. And then I spent like another 90 minutes just like going up and down the trail again, looking to see where like I dropped it. Never found it. What a bummer.
Were you like so when you lost it, were you like listening to music and then it like fell out? Okay. So you had paused it. And
I had paused because I had been listening to music. Like I kind of want to just have nothing, just listen to like, nature. So I took my headphones out and I wasn't listening to anything. So I didn't notice that at some point it like fell out of my pocket and unplugged out of like my headphones or whatever. Like I just didn't notice because it must have been at a point during like a slope that I was kind of like half jogging down. So like I wouldn't have noticed it pull out of my headphones. I wouldn't have noticed it fall out of my pocket.
Yeah.
So
dang, that sucks.
Yep. But I got my Zune back, so everything's fine.
Yeah, now you can Zune it up, baby.
I feel like Relient K was everyone's like gateway into pop punk, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, it certainly feels like that. Well, I mean, honestly, they do a pretty good job as pop punk.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, yeah.
I think a lot of people that I know that would end up listening to like, I don't know, like other, I guess I have a playlist that I put together, but like they would end up listening to like Panic at the Disco and My Chemical Romance and like, all those kinds of music. I feel like a lot of them started off listening to Relient K because it's Christian. This is fine. You can listen to it.
Yeah, your parents will buy you CDs of it and enjoy it.
Yeah, both Paul and I have a Relient K song, a little clip for this ep.
Yeah.
Do you have any? We'll start with yours. Yours is Sadie Hawkins Dance. Do you have any particular reason that you wanted to play this one?
Well, it's not even from like the first album of theirs that I really got into, because this is from the Anatomy of Tongue in Cheek.
Is that not their first one? I guess they would have had a self-titled.
Yeah, they have a self-titled one. But the first one I listened to of theirs was Two Lefts Don't Make a Right, or Two Wrongs Don't Make a Right.
I think it's Two Lefts Don't Make a Right, but Three Do.
Okay, that sounds right. That was the first one I had heard and really listened to. But this one, Sadie Hawkins Dance, always like, I remember specifically listening to it in like middle school and thinking, this is what high school is going to be like. And like, it was like really exciting to me. And I was like, kind of like learning like, oh yeah, like that would be cool. I'd like to be like this kind of guy in the song who girls think he's like smart and like funny and stuff like that. And he's just barely not getting beat up by the quarterback. Yeah. Well, yeah. And you should just play it, because I'm just going to babble.
All right.
about
Yeah.
it.
Let's have a little listen to Sadie Hawkins Dance.
Girls in the bathroom talking, who they gonna take to the Sadie Hawkins? My ears are burning, but I kept on walking, smile on my face, and an air guitar rocking. The Sadie Hawkins.
God, he really does sound like a big dork in this song, though.
Nothing better. Girls ask the guys, it's always a surprise. There's nothing better, baby, too, like my sweater.
Also, so they were definitely like adults when they wrote that song.
I imagine they would have been like early 20s.
So it's just weird to think about somebody in the early 20s singing about a high school dance. Like that just seems so weird and wrong. And I know that like there wouldn't be any high school bands who could perform that well, most likely.
It was also probably just like a recent, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like a recent thing.
Thinking about it,
it is kind of weird.
It's just a little bit weird, but I loved it. I still listen to it occasionally.
I still will turn on the old shuffle on Relient K and see what's old, see what's new.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most recent album that I've listened to, and they've maybe even had one since, released in like 2018 or whatever. It's Air for Free.
Oh, I've listened to that.
I've listened to some of their newer stuff, and it's still like, yeah, this is still pretty good. But the track that I have, which I think is probably, I don't know, it might be their most popular song, is Be My Escape from
Mm-hmm.
I think is it track 1? I think it's track 1.
I think it is.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. Oh man, not too long, like a few years ago, they were having them and Switchfoot both were touring together for like its 10-year anniversary, and I really wanted to go.
That would have been fun. I
see
never,
that would have
really
been so
got
fun.
into Switchfoot. Like I had some of their albums on my iTunes because my older brother had a bunch of it, but it just I probably found out about it just barely too late. And so I was like, well, I like Relient K, but I don't know.
I really liked Switchfoot. Switchfoot. I think the whole album was called Oh Gravity, but they had the title track for sure. I really liked that song, and that I distinctly remember being in 10th grade and being in like some sort of computer skills class, like, all right, we're going to learn how to use Microsoft Word. And I'm like, fuck this. And just listening to Switchfoot and just like, all right, I'm done with this assignment. It took 10 minutes because it's Microsoft Word.
Wait, how are you listening to it? Did they let you play your iPod in that class?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Because it's also like,
we were not allowed to do that.
It was the most uninvolved class I think I had ever been in, because like the teacher just took parts of like this workbook that was like, here's how to use Microsoft Word. And they were pretty much assignments that would have been taken from like a For Dummies book, where it's like, do this. Okay. Now see this, click here. All right. Now that you've clicked here, type in this word. Now highlight the word and turn to 36 size. And it's like, it's that kind of thing where like there was no involvement from the teacher. She was just like, all right, here's this thing. If you need help, raise your hand. I'll come help you. Other than that, just like put in my headphones, listen to music. I'm done with the assignment. Now what do I do? But that I remember being in that room listening to Oh Gravity, and also some Relient K, such as Be My Escape. We'll bring it back to this. We'll swing it back around.
Okay.
But I imagine that for some people that maybe have not listened to Relient K in a while, this is probably going to be a little bit of a trip.
Yeah, that opening is very iconic.
Yep. One of the first music videos that I watched.
Oh, is this the one where like the house is shrinking or something? Okay.
It is.
Oh, and then the alternating and the sides of the headphones.
I've given up, I'm giving up slowly. I'm blending in so you won't even know me. Apart from this world that shares my fate.
I remember seeing like a clip of them, or maybe it's in the music video, but I remember the first time noticing that there's a piano, like a full-size piano that they were playing. And I really respect that, honestly, because that's a pain in the ass to move around like that.
Well, they had the budget.
True.
So, yeah, wow. A lot of Relient K.
Yeah.
Because one of my friends, growing up, he would have been my most Christian friend. Because when I would go to other friends' houses, I don't remember there really ever being like any religious like things on the wall or whatever. But like you go to his house and there's a picture of Jesus, there's a crucifix. You know, there's like it's not overt. You know, where it's like, these are our only decorations are of Jesus Christ. But you get the idea, you know?
Yeah, that's like how my parents are. There's like a cross on the wall.
Yeah, it's like, you know, like I know that he went to church, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, he liked Relient K and he liked Switchfoot. And then that's kind of how that's how I got into Relient K and started listening to their music.
So we've talked about Switchfoot and Relient K. You ever listen to Cutlass?
I have, but I not like actually listen to them. I think similarly, I would like, oh yeah, I've heard of them, scan it at Borders and then check it out. Yeah, I just remember the name. I don't really have any strong memories of the band.
Yeah, I don't really either, but that was another one that my older brother liked and I never got into.
Yeah, I did like 1,000 Foot Crutch.
Oh, that's another one I never listened to them.
I really only liked a couple of their songs, but they did come to Kalispell.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
they went to
They went
to Kalispell.
They went to Kalispell, and I was like, oh yeah, 1,000 Foot Crutch. That's like a real band. I want to go see them. I didn't go see them.
You didn't go see them? Wow.
They would have played at the Majestic Valley Arena, which is not a stadium. It's like a place for rodeos.
Oh yeah, that was where I think weirdly enough, Papa Roach played in Helena at the fairgrounds.
So
like at the
I can't imagine like how that would have been set up. There would have been a stage, and was everyone just standing in the dirt? Like
probably, honestly.
Like that's kind of how I'm imagining it, is that everyone is just like at the end is just covered in dust. I don't know.
Honestly, yeah.
That's who knows?
That's like a Montana show for you, especially in like the early 2000s.
Yeah, for sure. When there's, I don't know.
Well, I mean, you might get like some bands like that and it like any like sit down concert would be different than that. But yeah, any like band that like we think of as like a show now for like young people. Yeah, you just probably get dirty and be standing in mud.
Yeah, it's so strange. Yeah. I don't know how that was set up because I didn't go, but whatever.
Yeah, I didn't go to any shows at the fairgrounds in Helena. I did go to a show. So what was the first concert you did go to? My first concert was Weird Al in Bozeman in 8th grade.
Man, every time you mention that, I really wish I was like, I don't know. I just want to see Weird Al. That sounds so cool. It
was a great show. And it was like
to see Weird Al.
Yeah, right as I was kind of like, it couldn't have come at a better time because I like still like knew like probably like all the words to all the songs of his that I liked. And it was like just before I really got into like punk music instead. And so it was just like a great send off to my years of only listening to pretty much Weird Al. And then
nice capstone.
Yeah, exactly. It was a great show. He liked his costume changes. And performed so well. And it was awesome.
Wow. Well, seeing as how Kalispell is not, a center for any sort of entertainment, I didn't go see and that mixed with me not really knowing what kind of music I liked. Mm-hmm. I didn't see a concert until after graduating high school.
Wow.
And it was here in Missoula. I saw the Decemberists.
Oh, that's a pretty good start.
Yeah. And I still have the shirt that I bought when I saw that show.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good group to go see.
Mm-hmm. And then I don't think I had seen any other concerts, but I do remember in elementary school, some sort of music group, or I don't know, someone played music during like an assembly. Mm-hmm. And I remember like for the first time in my entire life feeling like the kick drum when it's mic'd up and you can like, you physically feel the sound waves hit you. Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking like, holy shit, what is this?
What is that?
It was pretty cool.
That is really cool. It's a good feeling. I was just getting all nostalgic for in high school. I was in a punk band that we started in like 8th grade, and we started off pretty bad, and then we just practiced a lot because there was nothing else to do in Helena growing up. Like there's almost no activities for young people. So for about 2 years we practiced like every day, and we got like I wouldn't say we were good, but we got pretty like tight like nice. with our group, and like we released, quote unquote released a bunch of albums that were just songs we burned onto multiple CDs and then would try to sell them, but mostly just give them away to our friends. But that also like fueled like listening to more music and like getting deeper and deeper into like kind of went from me being just in like pop punk to like more like punk rock and like folk punk and like even some like crust punk, just like all sorts of like classic punk from the 80s and 90s. And then, just like kind of like all over the map, some like screamo stuff. But like what I remember really like kind of like getting me into the lifestyle, which I really didn't lead because I was still a pretty dorky kid, was Sum 41's Fat Lip. I remember like thinking like that song was like so cool, and like also like kind of like me being like, yeah, I'm not like a nice kid like in Relient K. I'm
a bad kid.
Yeah, I'm a punk kid from Fat Lip.
I remember listening to Fat Lip like I think the first time was my freshman year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
Just like thinking like, whoa, music can sound like this.
Yeah.
This is cool.
And they can sing about if we just pull it up, I'll talk about it afterward. Oh yeah. Oh, that's such a good build.
It is.
God, this song is like really douchey. Like it is like so just like they're such assholes.
A few times now you have said as a kid, and I just think of that one part in that song when he says as a kid.
What are the other lyrics? As a kid on the skid?
I don't know, because after having played Splatoon for a while, which is a video game where you play as a squid kid. In my head, it goes, as a kid was a squid. So I don't actually know what the lyrics are at this point. I just hear as a kid was a squid.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah, sure. But while you're looking that up, yeah, the first time that I had listened to Sum 41 would have been either this song or the Hell song, and it would have been in 9th grade. Because maybe kind of similarly to your trajectory, one of my like first friends in high school that wasn't like a new friend, like someone I had never met before, went to a different school, that whole kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I sat next to him in our very first class, which was honors biology in 9th grade.
Honors.
Yeah. Didn't learn shit. But we sat next to each other because, alphabetized seating chart. And I remember looking over and like, just what's he writing? And he was drawing Kakashi from Naruto. And I was like, wait a minute, this kid knows anime.
Whoa.
Oh shit. And so we just kind of like started being friends from there. I would say that he was your pretty typical emo kid. He had long hair, he had the fringe, always wore skinny jeans and black Vans, and had a different band shirt every day of the week.
Wow. Always probably something from like Warped Tour or something like that.
I remember he had like an Under Oath shirt. He had a Rise Against shirt. He had a Slipknot shirt. Yeah, like that kind of thing. And that's how I started listening to a lot of those bands too.
So you find it on his shirt and then.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? And I'll like go home and I'll like, all right, who is Under Oath? So I had like a very short-lived like screamo phase because I was friends with him.
Yeah, I think I went through something similar.
Mm-hmm. But then that's also when I learned about some like other pop punk stuff. Somewhat recently I watched like a documentary about Slipknot.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Just because it showed up, I was like, oh, I don't know, because their whole ethos to me is really interesting. Like the costumes that they wear, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, oh, I'll check this out. I listened to them somewhat tangentially throughout high school, and just watching that documentary, I just couldn't help but picture in my head that classroom. Like the entire time, I'm just thinking of that one single classroom, because that's where I learned about what Slipknot was.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really interesting, like those like sense memories, I guess.
I always get Slipknot and Disturbed mixed up.
Oh, you also had a Disturbed shirt.
Yeah, I always have, like, even back then and to this day, I'm pretty sure Slipknot wears the masks.
Slipknot wears the masks, and Disturbed had the bodies hit the floor, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that song sounds familiar, but honestly, like, still picturing them, like, whenever I picture Disturbed, I think of Slipknot still. So
I don't think anyone would blame you.
I'm sure some angry metalhead would, but
that's a good point.
Somebody who's weirdly going to die on the hill of Slipknot and Disturbed in 2020, which I feel like is not many people, but there's probably a few.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Did you find out what the lyrics were to
As a kid was a skid.
I don't know what that means.
No one knew me by name. I trashed my own
house party because nobody came. In high school, and I've been thinking about this regularly for some reason, but in high school, 9th grade, looking back, we had a cool English teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I think also everyone assumed, I never got confirmation of this. Everyone just assumed that he liked to get high. He just had that kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
He was also probably like 24, 20. He was young, our age or younger when he was teaching us.
Wow.
But he gave us an assignment, and he gave us an assignment where we were to take a song and we were to rewrite the lyrics, but we needed to rewrite the euphemisms in like proper English. Which I thought was looking back, like that's a pretty cool assignment. Cause
that's really interesting.
It's relating like what, you kids in your music, whatever the hell you listen. We also knew he was cool because he would, when we would have like independent assignments, he would play Modest Mouse. So like, oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Okay.
You're cool.
So he was probably actually cool at the time.
Yeah. He had, and I think he had like some concert posters like in his classroom. So he was pretty cool. And he had this assignment where like, all right, pick a song that you like. And then your assignment is to rewrite the lyrics, but remove the euphemisms and just replace them. And I remember having such a hard time with this assignment because I was still trying to figure out what music I liked.
Uh-huh.
And I just couldn't pick a song. And I also didn't really know what a euphemism was.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, I made this song way harder for myself, or made this assignment way harder for myself because the song that I picked was a Relient K song.
Uh-huh.
And it was Deathbed. Because I figured like there's probably a lot of euphemisms in this, but also this is a 10-minute song.
Yeah, that's so long.
Yeah.
Well,
I bet I looked like a huge fucking nerd to my teacher.
You picked the Christian rock band.
I picked the Christian rock band and made it
the longest, saddest song.
Yeah. I think about that and one other music related memory. Like I got a lot of like music assignments in high school, I guess. Because there's another one where we had to take the Shakespeare play, and I hated this assignment. Thinking back, this assignment was the worst assignment I think I've ever been given, because it was also a group project. For whatever reason, of course, as per usual, I got stuck with the shit kids.
I like to imagine that that's like this gang that goes around. We're the shit kids. We're covered in shit all the time. For some reason, they have Cockney accents.
Yeah, I wouldn't deny it. But the assignment was to take like part of this I think it was Shakespeare. We were each given like a portion of an act in the Shakespeare play, and we were to reenact it without words, but using song lyrics.
Oh, I would hate that too.
I didn't realize that it was song lyrics. And on top of this, it's also like, I don't know what the popular songs are.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did instead was I took it a step further, and I like read what the parts were, and I took it in a more atmospheric direction. And because I didn't know what songs were, the songs I picked were like video game, like background music that I felt fit the theme. And of course I'm the only one doing this because the other kids aren't doing any work. Mm-hmm. The bottleneck of this was we had to like burn it onto a CD, and I didn't have a CD burner.
Oh, yeah.
So this assignment prompted my parents to upgrade their computer and buy a new one.
Wow.
This is the only good thing that came out of this assignment was that my parents finally got a new laptop, or got a new computer that was a laptop that had a CD burner that I could make this assignment, make the CD for this assignment with.
Mm-hmm.
First time using Audacity.
Ooh.
Yeah. But yeah, I hated that assignment.
That sounds like a thing I would
because everyone was really confused about what was going on in our part of like this reenactment, because there's no words, and this is all music from a video game that literally none of them have played.
So everybody else was like saying things and getting up there and doing a part, and you all just went and like pressed play and then and then sat there.
And here's the thing is that I didn't realize like, oh, having words in the song would have been a good idea until other people started playing their music. We're like, wait a minute, what? And
so they were all just playing it off a CD. They weren't like saying the lyrics or anything.
Yeah, it was all off a CD.
Weird assignment.
It was a weird assignment. And I hated it because when I realized like, oh, wait a minute, these should have been like popular songs that people listen to with lyrics. And like, I'm just feeling just like anxiety building up. Just like everyone's going to make fun of me and think I'm a dummy.
I mean, that is pretty dumb.
It is. It is very dumb. And
that's really funny though. Did you get a good grade on it?
I don't remember anything that happened in that class. Really.
I mean, honestly, that's not that dumb. What's dumb is that the teacher had that as an assignment. because best case scenario, I feel like you're going to have people like waiting to they'll just like play the track and then be like, wait. Oh,
Well, you were supposed to cut the music in time.
Jesus, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That is a lot of work for what in high school?
Yeah. I would have been in 11th grade.
11th grade. Wow. I mean, I'm impressed that you were able to like cut the music then. That's not dumb. That assignment sounds terrible though.
Yeah.
I would have hated that.
That class had a lot of non-traditional assignments.
Was that English class?
It was for an English credit. It was theater's literature.
Oh, wow. That is pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with not providing you with the technology to burn the CD and stuff. That's insane.
I mean, technically we did have the technology because my high school, to give context, is the brand new high school.
Oh, sure.
So like on top of that, like it's new hardware, new equipment. So I could have gone to the library where there were a bunch of brand new iMacs.
Oh, and burned a CD there.
Yeah, but I was too shy to ask the librarian to use the computer. So instead I told my parents, we need a new computer so I could do it at home.
Wow.
Biggest con of my life.
I'm surprised that worked knowing about your parents. What was I going to say? That same, when I was in 11th grade, we had a propaganda unit in our English class. And we had gone to Goodwill like a week before and had found an old school like VHS camcorder, like one of the big ones that just like went straight onto a big VHS tape. And like I bought it because I was like, $10? Hell yeah, I'll buy this with my, like $50 to my name. Sure. And so I bought it and we made a propaganda video using VHS technology. Like we were just like filming it. We like literally put up like a backdrop of like pieces of paper that we had taped together and like taped it to the wall and then like filmed us and would just like edit it by like starting and stopping and rewinding at like the right spot.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's just funny to imagine me doing that on a old VHS tape and you guys have to like cut together like tracks in Audacity. Like that's just so wild to me.
Yeah, I'm really curious how everyone else did it. Cause like that knowing how to do that for like an 11th grader is not common knowledge.
No, I couldn't.
So I'm
do
curious
it today.
how anyone else like got around to like completing this assignment. I don't know. It's beyond me. And we should have an episode about high school assignments that we had to do.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Cause I'm just like remembering of a lot of weird things I had to do for like social studies classes.
Yeah.
Well, any other memories you got about your music?
No, nothing really. I also really have to go pee. So
You want to go pee? Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Are you going to stop or are you just going to keep talking?
I might keep talking. Who knows?
Okay.
Who knows what I have to say?
Don't talk shit.
I've got alone time. No Paul. I can unfiltered. I can say whatever the hell that I want.
I just wasted 10 seconds of your life.
You got any final thoughts, or is that pretty much it for you?
No, I'd say that pretty much covers my most formative years listening to music. I think, yeah, getting later after that, I start to get in kind of like what I truly now think of as some of my favorite artists and stuff like that, like Josh Ritter, Bomb the Music Industry. Things that I still to this day would be like, yeah, I really like that music and it means a lot to me. And I genuinely believe in a lot of the things it stands for. If that makes sense, whereas opposed to like listening to Fat Lip and being like, yeah, this song still makes me feel good, but also they're just like such assholes,
Yeah.
It's not really necessarily stuff I can actually relate to.
Yeah, for sure. And there's also, I think, a bunch, I don't know, maybe later down the road, we can kind of maybe expand more on this. Cause there's definitely like, I looked at my playlist and there's a bunch of stuff I still haven't talked about, so I don't know, maybe we can squeeze more out of this topic, but.
Oh, definitely. It'd be fun to have other folks on too.
Oh, for sure. That's actually really good. That's a good point. Yeah. Hear what other people listen to. If they have any, like, see if anyone else listens to smooth jazz while playing RuneScape.
Yeah.
But I guess with that, Paul, I have a segment for us.
Ooh, a segment.
I've got an end of show segment. working title so far, working title and also working music transition. But I am right now going to call this Distant Memories.
Whoa.
This is pretty much a segment in which you or I just share a memory that we cannot make a full episode out of.
Okay.
or a topic or something. This relates a little bit to that theater as literature class I was talking to earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So my memory for the episode is when I once turned in a plant for my assignment. That's it.
Wait. Can you shed some more context into this?
So the thing that I remember, I don't remember what the assignment was, what we had to do, or anything like that. I just remember that I had read the play version of A Raisin in the Sun, and
I don't remember what that is.
I don't remember what it is about either. A Raisin, I think it ended up being a movie. Maybe there was a screenplay version of it, but there definitely was. Well, you know what? I'm just going to look this up.
Yeah.
And make sure that maybe there. Yes. Raisin in the Sun is a play by Lorraine Hansberry and debuted on Broadway in 1959.
Okay.
I don't know if I was assigned this or if I just chose it. I don't remember. And I don't remember what the assignment was. What I do remember is that a plant had some sort of significance, metaphorical significance in the play, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So my idea was to turn in a plant for the episode. And on each leaf of the plant, I don't know why I decided to do this. I think it was also because I was really jaded about that class. And I was like, I hate doing this. And this is dumb and a waste of my time. So what I did was I took on like pieces of paper or note cards or something. I wrote down like significant like plot points or significant moments in the play.
Mm-hmm.
And I somehow related the leaves of the plant to certain events that branched out from the main plot of the plant. Like this was just like high school galaxy brain, like kind of completing an assignment.
Mm-hmm.
In maybe sort of like a malicious compliance kind of way.
Like you were like, oh yeah, I'm really like going to get them.
Yeah.
Like you're like going to show it to your teacher or something.
But it was also like, this was also a teacher that I liked. And she also was cool with just like, do whatever the fuck you want, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know. So I took these pieces of paper and I couldn't figure out a way to affix them to the leaves. So I remember taking a paper clip and not using the paper clip in a way that you should be using a paper clip, which is the normal way. I took apart the paper. I bent out a little bit of it and I pierced it through the paper. And I also pierced it through the leaf of the plant. I don't remember if that was because there was just like a weird structural thing that required me to do it, or if there was any other significance to just puncturing a leaf on a plant. But that was my assignment and I turned it in and I think I got an A.
Wow. Good job. That is a strange thing.
It relates all the way to art school where you can have bullshit, but as long as you put meaning behind it, it's totally fine.
Yeah. Do you think that is what led you to your time in art school?
Maybe, who knows? Because I did a lot of malicious compliance in college too with shit like that. And that is my distant memory.
Would you say, I like that segment, by the way. That's nice. Would you say that your final art project, I guess I don't remember if it was your final one or not, but when you planned the event of the century for art school, was that sort of malicious compliance?
100%. Yes.
Okay. That was a really funny thing. I think you should, I don't know how much time we have or how long we've been on, but we should talk about that real quick.
Maybe we should save it for another time.
Okay.
Let's build it up.
Build it up as something. It was truly the event of the century.
Mm-hmm. And we'll talk about that more at another time.
Okay.
In another place. In another distant memory. Ooh. I'm not going to play it again. We already played it twice.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that signals that this is the end of our show.
Sure does.
And it's time for plugs. But before we plug, we've got some brand new iTunes reviews, Paul.
Do we?
We do.
Wow. Let's read them.
All right. Do you want to read the first one?
Sure. All right. Here's our most recent one of our more recent iTunes reviews called Couple of Hot Guys. Oh,
Whoa, spicy.
I've personally met these two guys, and let me tell you, they are hot. I've probably never met two hotter guys in my entire life. They're just as hot as they sound. Also, great production, amazing theme song, solid banter, and interesting trivia. What more could a faithful listener ask for? Finally, additional support for this show. Oh, you highlighted more than
Oops.
than the review, so I almost just started reading. I was like, what a weird thing to add to a review. Thanks, listener.
I copied and pasted the next review in the wrong spot. So I thought that whole thing was it. We have another review. We have two.
Wow.
We have two brand new reviews.
Are they both? I assume that last one was 5 stars.
They're both 5 stars. We have 7 5-star ratings.
Keep them coming, baby.
Yeah. This next one is titled Good Podcast. This podcast is good. Like really good. The two dudes on the podcast are good at podcasting. I agree.
I like that they seem to know one adjective, and that is good.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm going to roast all the people who leave us 5-star reviews.
Hey, it's good.
It's good.
It's good.
As Mike Mitchell might say.
Yep. Our favorite doughboy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of our favorite doughboys.
I was going to say, I don't know. Well, I don't know.
Do you think you're the Mitch or do you think you're the Weiger?
I think I'm the Mitch.
I'm definitely the Weiger.
Yeah. I don't do nearly as much work for the podcast, and I often forget about what we're doing.
Wow, we've got our own little Mitch Weiger dynamic.
Sure do.
How about that, huh?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Well, moving on to real plugs. Thank you for those reviews, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any memories about music that you would like to share with us, you, of course, can find us on Twitter @NostalgiaSystem, or you can send us an email, nostalgiasystempodcast@gmail.com. Also, leave your own review, and we'll read it on the show.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Only if it's good. Only if it's 5
or if it's
freaking
funny.
stars. Or if it's funny.
If it's funny enough.
But it's got to be really funny.
I would probably read a 1-star review. That would give me some enjoyment.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
And also, as Paul alluded to earlier, you can also support the show on Patreon, patreon.com/nostalgia entertainment system. Got a $40 goal, covers hosting, covers all the other monthly expenses for this show, and then it'll be self-sustaining. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
That would be cool for this to not come out of our wallets and out of yours instead.
Yeah. God, you should be doing all this, listener.
Also, maybe someday we'll have exclusive Patreon content.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh, it's spooky ghost plugs. Thank you to MoonRayker Music for composing our theme song Scanlines. You can find them on the internet @MoonRayker Music or just @MoonRayker. That's Moon, RAYKER. Paul, anything you want to plug?
Nope. You can still go to my Twitter if you want to, @KrangsDumbBody, or not. I don't really go to Twitter. I don't tweet anymore, really. Try not to go on Twitter. This is all I do, really, that needs to be plugged is this show.
Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-mm.
You can find me on the internet @Daruma Party, DARUMA Party. That's it for our show, I suppose. All about music.
What are we going to talk about next week, Josh?
Next week is a Scholastic Book Fair, so get your checkbooks.
Wow.
All right, that's our show, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.